All right. It is Monday. I turn my brightness up here. See much. All right. We have no economic data coming out during the day, so that makes things easy here. We're looking at the daily chart as some of these levels plotted from the end of last week. Namely, we have resistances at 454, 457.8, 456-ish level. Those are two big areas I'm looking at. In terms of where we are, it appears we have sold off. So Friday appears as a bit of a sell-off day. We're opening below the closing price of Friday. Appears. One thing that stands out to me immediately is potential retest of some of these lows on that 449 area. See it acted as support on Friday and a little bit of Thursday. Even looks like some pre-market resistance in that area. So sold off. There is potential we come up and get rejected by that. So that is an area that I'm looking for. Anywhere in this like probably like this 449 to like 449.5 area. If we come up early in the session and retest some of those. Also pre-market, maybe not quite pre-market. Post-market we hit 449.38. That range, definitely looking for some weakness up there if we do come for a retest. Otherwise, if we break through this, I'm looking for higher highs, higher lows, and I'll enter on a pullback. But if we continue some of this weakness that we've seen since Friday and after market, post market kind of sell off, making lower highs. So we have high here, low here, lower high here, lower low here, lower high here, lower low here, lower high. You get the message. So we made kind of a double bottom here. As you can see, it has bounced off this level twice after hours. This 448.24 level bounced here, tried to make another high, but that is a lower high. Made a lower high, failed to make a lower low, however, and now we're approaching that previous high. So I would look for resistance up here. If we fail to break through, taking that as weakness, that will probably continue further down. Otherwise, if we do break this high, if we do break that, then we have sort of bucked the downtrend here. And we are no longer making lower lows, lower highs, but we have made a new higher high and then potentially looking for a lower low, or a higher low to enter off of. That's what I'm looking for, weakness in this area. We reject, showing weakness up here, taking puts to the downside. We break through with some strength. I'm looking for a pullback, maybe to this level. Previous resistance turn support. Let's see if we can continue our move up. Nothing crazy, pretty simple. Might throw on some lo-fi bibs. Headset not even on? Hold up, give me a second. Alright, I might turn it down a little bit. Alrighty. So that's the plan. We showed some weakness. We're opening below Friday's closing price. You could also look at that in terms of a level to look for is the closing price on Friday. Where is it? Yeah, up here. This 449.28 level. That's where we closed Friday. So you could see potentially it coming up and retesting these areas for a rejection. Otherwise, it does look like we have some support down here at this level, 448.24. So that's a game plan. Set up my panels here. I like to usually get it so my grid, and this looks a little messy, but I like to usually get it so my grid is in increments of 50 cents. Just that way I know, like, roughly, I like this whole numbers, and also knowing, like, how much a trade is moving. We're gonna go to options, search for SPY here. We're not doing same day expos, we're doing tomorrow's. In terms of calls, we do show strength up here. I think we could hit that 450 level. So I'll kind of tentatively load up some SPY 450 calls for tomorrow's expiration. However, the main play I'm looking for is that 449-ish rejection. So we're opening, well, still a few minutes, so, but looking like we're set to open around 449. We come up and hit this as a retest, show some weakness, looking to enter puts, try to ride it back down to this support. We'll see. I did some work on my microphone settings, so should be a lot more crisp, a lot less background noise from clicking fan from my computer, etc. So let me know if it sounds better, because I did take some time over the weekend to try to add some filters and audio settings to make things a bit better. So one thing I'm looking at here is we're showing some strength pre-market. Like, we're pushing up into this level kind of prior to the market even opening, which concerns me a little bit about like taking a put right at that opening print essentially. I'm just gonna see what the price action looks like once we open. But we are pushing into that level pre-market, which might invalidate some of my move here. It's kind of risky to take a trade like immediately off open. But you see that we are we are getting a little bit of rejection off that level. So I think that move is still potentially valid. Kind of the lows and close of yesterday. So getting a little bit of a rejection right off the top. Looks like we're pushing up into that level. We're above it now. So yeah, not really looking to take that. We opened like pretty much in that level, so that was too close. Next I'd probably look for is we're opening this strong. I might look for a push up into 450 and maybe rejection up around there. $450 was one of our big levels from last week. So now that we're back below it, I could see 450 being an area of rejection, potentially even this 449.5. As you can see, that was kind of a big level of resistance in the after hours and a level of support. I might enter a put position here. I'll set a stop up there. Reason why I'm doing that is this 449, as you can see, was a clear level from last week in terms of resistance turned to support. We're opening below that, we're pushing up into it, wicked above it a little bit, showing some weakness in terms of breaking it. Essentially the same game plan that I was looking at from these two levels. But as this candle, we opened pretty much in those levels, so I didn't feel comfortable taking a put like pretty much exactly at open. I want to see a little bit of price action, see a little bit how things are moving. I think we definitely see a pullback between 449 and 450 area. But kind of in this zone, I'm expecting a bit of a pullback. We're reaching my stop. I'm debating raising my stop to allow for some wiggle room at this 450 level. But we'll see how it plays out. I don't want to get too risky. Yeah, we are pushing up pretty strong, so I might re-enter at that 450 level. Looks like we are going to get a bit of a rejection here. I mean, we'll see. It's showing some strength, but part of me is feeling like a re-entry. I think that's one thing that I need to work on is my stop loss percentage, like my positioning and my stop loss. I think sometimes I don't give it enough room to breathe, and I'm letting myself kind of get stopped out of a good play. I don't want to FOMO and chase into this, but I did get stopped out of kind of this play. I'm debating re-entering it here. I might wait for this candle to close and see what the next candle does and enter off that. Yeah, so it looks like we are gonna potentially reject off that. I'd like to see a retest of that 449.5. Not sure if we'll get it. Here it looks like we might push up for a bit of a retest. I might set a limit buy around that 100 level. If we don't give me a nice fill on that, and if we can't get a rejection. And I want to see, where was our... We continue to push up, show some strength here. That 450 is kind of my last line of defense there. I think if we push up above that, that definitely invalidates my idea, and then I think that shows a lot of strength. We're probably going to be looking for a move to the upside, but for now, so we're kind of failing to set a new high. We are showing some strength though. I mean, we're not really pulling back a whole lot. That was the first sign of one. But yeah, these long wicks up top, kind of failure to break this high. I expect us to pull back more. I'd love to take this trade down to this like 448 point two level. We're just gonna have to see how it plays out. And this candle's coming close to being closed. There it is, so starting the new candle here. And we have failed to open above this 449.5 level. So I do expect a bit of a rejection here. We're just gonna try to sit on our hands here and let this play out a little bit. Like I mentioned earlier, reason behind this: sell-off Friday, weakness in the aftermarket, pre-market, coming up, retesting this crucial level that was resistance turn support, now resistance again. We're pushing up into it, price action showing some weakness. That's the reasoning behind the trade, and we'll see. I took one put, my entry price is at $1 flat, or $100. I took a previous loss. I took a $10 loss. I set my stop up in here, and it wicked me out on that first candle. Probably a smarter move would have been to wait for this second candle retest, which is what I did on this second entry. Taking an entry right off that opening candle was probably a little bit more risky, and I did get stopped out. I probably also didn't give my stop loss enough room to run, because I was really looking for this 449.5 to 450 area. So I probably should give myself a little bit more breathing room. I think I'm still trying to understand my own risk management and be comfortable with the positions I'm taking, even though I'm just taking one contract at a time. So we are looking like we're showing a lot of strength. Not a lot. I mean, we're not making any new highs, but it looks like it doesn't want to fall. And this might just be a longer drawn out play. Either that or we don't push down at all and we just slow grind up. And that's the most painful option. For my positioning, at least. I mean, looking at the hourly chart, it's a pretty strong candle. But if we fail to break above this level here, you could see a pullback. I don't have a stop loss placed, just because the way my first trade kind of played out, I set my stop loss a little too close and I got stopped out of this trade. Ideally, I would have not gotten stopped out and I'd still be in the exact same position that I was in. I still believe in this. So here it looks like we're getting a bit of a rejection. There we go. So this is kind of what I was looking for here. I might set my stop right at break even for this trade. So I'm gonna set my stop at break even and try to let this play out. But ideally, we run it down to either this like 448.5-ish level would be an ideal for me. But that might be a little too optimistic. We'll see how it goes. So if we could break below the opening print of today, this like 449-ish level, that would be nice. That would be a good confirmation that we're going to head lower here. Looks like we are getting some good support at that level. Yeah, if we can flush below that opening print, that 449 level, I think we see this continue down, maybe down to this next level. If we fail to break that opening print, that might be some sign that this is more so a pullback than a continued trend to the downside. I think this is the trickiest part for me trading with one contract is the inability to take profit at a level and let runners run. Like I don't have runners, you know. So this is like, I guess maybe a good lesson in patience and like letting a play really play out. As I see it bouncing around off this level, natural inclination is to cut, take profit, and not let this stop me out, as it appears we're going to probably do here. But I think with anything, this is just like really gonna be like a learning. Oh my god, we're so close. It's probably gonna stop me out right here. So stop me out. That's break even. It might continue down here. That might have been too close of a stop loss. You know, it might hit and then continue its move down. It looks likely, especially with how low volume this candle. I don't know what this song is. It's not very relaxing. Let's skip ahead. So yeah, I probably got stopped out a little early there. I got stopped out at break even. That's something that I need to experiment with more. And so now you see you might get a continuation down. Yep. So what I'm really looking for here is if we can break this level. I'm kind of conflicted here because we didn't show a ton of strength to the upside. but we are showing great support at this opening price, this 449 level. So I don't really feel like taking any trade at this moment in terms of re-entering. I probably would have liked to stay in that put position that I was in, just having taken a small loss earlier in the day. I did want to be a little bit more, I guess, conservative with my stop loss and prevent further losses. So we have failed to break above 1, 2, 3, 4 times. It looks like we might be pushing up for a 5th attempt. Part of me's tempted to take another put off that retest. I mean, the more that we continue to retest it and fail to break above, the more I think we see a more drastic pullback. So yeah, I suppose there's nothing here in terms of price action for me to get stopped out. We're setting continuously lower highs. We're failing to break higher. So I think setting my stop loss there was probably a little bit more, I guess, safe than I needed to be. I probably could have set it like around the high of here. But we are showing some serious support down here. Also multiple failures to break lower. So we're kind of in this in between here, and we'll see. So I put another limit order there. Looks like it might not get filled here. I'm just seeing we have a really low volume push up. We've been rejected 4 times already. as we continue to fail to break this level, I feel strong that we'll pull back. But we have shown some serious support here. Kind of like an inability to break lower. Either way, it feels like whichever way we break out, either up or down, is going to be a good move. Hopefully, this has been a bit of a choppy mess. But each time we reject off this level, it just feels more and more likely that we're going to break down. Just yet to happen. If we could just get a flush of that 449 with some volume. But man, it's really just chopping around. I don't have a stop set in place. I'm really just looking to see if we kind of buck this trend. If we set a new high, if we start to push through, I'll cut this. Volume is dying, falling off a cliff. Definitely some weird price action. I'm not loving it, but I think being patient here, letting this play out, to me, everything's pointing to a move to the downside. We just continue to fail to break this level. We had weakness since Friday. Retesting of this crucial level here. Failure to break above it over the course of 20-30 minutes. Just continuously trying and failing. Volume not being there to help the push through. I could be completely wrong. It could just rally to the upside and chew up my shorts. It looks like it's gonna do somehow, but we'll see. We're gonna be patient with this one. Well, here it goes. Looks like I'll probably close out my position if it continues to push up. So we did close above that level for the first time. Looks like we're coming down. Yeah. So it looks like we might fail my idea of breaking down further. So closely watching this candle. Really looking for like a new high. Which it looks like we're gonna get here. So yeah, that. Oh man, I should get out of this. I want to see the reaction at 450. I still don't really feel confident that we just boost upwards today. Feels like we've had weakness. I probably should not let this run. 450 is kind of my last indicator here. In terms of what I think we'll do for the remainder of this session. Breaking above 450 would be really bullish, for my opinion. We'll see. We are getting some volume coming in. This is looking pretty bad for my position here. More volume coming in. Yeah, this is blasphemy. Really just looking to see how it responds to this 450. But we are showing some strength, showing some volume. This is probably going to be it does look like we're getting a bit of rejection off 450. We'll see. We'll see if this is just a minor pullback and it corrects, or if this is kind of the rejection that I was looking for. I'm still in this trade. Not great. Gone against my rules a little bit in terms of cutting if we set that new high, but since that new high was so close to this other level I was watching, I decided to hold a little bit longer. This is not looking good for, but we're showing some serious strength, so yeah, we're out. I'm out. I don't really want to continue to hold in what appears to be an upward. So that's rough. I'm down $30 for the day, which is much larger than what I normally aim for in terms of like risk management. So not a great day on my part. First loss coming off setting a stop loss too early up here. That could have been a nice little scalp. What I'm looking for here is, I mean, I suppose I probably should have taken 450 calls off this support at opening print. It's a decent move, so just didn't trade it the best. I think what really fooled me was these long top wicks, this failure to break this level. Didn't look like we were going to have strength today. Apparently we did, so I think just managing my risk a little bit better, stopping that second contract somewhere in here as soon as we closed above this, probably would have saved me from some losses. Definitely some avoidable losses. There's one last trade I'm looking at, and that is break above 450 and a retest of this 450 level, and see if we can't get continuation higher. If things set up, that's the last trade I'm probably gonna take today if it works, or if it presents itself. Otherwise, I'm probably done. Yeah, I think I need to review this one. I need to understand, you know, that opening print, it really, you can see it bounced right off that. That might have been my clue to get out of that trade, and not try to force it. That we did show, and it's not great strength, but then this pullback, a bounce off of opening print. I was in a way fighting the trend since pre-market. We'd been trending upwards a little bit. We'd set a double bottom, so I think the signs were there. Maybe I just ignored them due to my own bias, in terms of having this sell-off and thinking that we might continue after such a long bullish run. To me, it made sense that we might have a little bit of a pullback, especially now that we were below that 450 level. But yeah, it looks like we might have been a little too early to jump on that ship. And here we're getting a bit of a pullback. I wouldn't mind seeing a retest of this 449.5. Now that we broke above it, come back for a retest and go higher potentially. My only concern is that 450 level is pretty big level. So and we closed above it technically. Well, maybe right on the dot. This is more so like the sell-off that I was expecting to happen. But it looks like even this isn't necessarily a sell-off, but more just like a pullback. Might play the bounce. We can get a retest on this level. I might have missed the retest here. That bounce would have been a pretty good entry. But I don't want to start chasing. Especially right at this 450 level, buying a call like at 450. Once we break through it and pull back, yes. When we're doing this, no. Although this has been pretty bullish, so we'll see. It's tempting to take a put here at this 450. We're like kind of feeling to push above it. I think me getting burnt twice already on puts, those I have some reluctance. I want to take a put. This is more so a quick scalp. I'm looking for a retest of this level down here. And then I'll probably set my stop in profit if that occurs. But it does seem like we have a bit of an exhaustion on this move up, at least for now, until we get a pullback. Although we could just be doing what we did here, setting up for a move higher. But I think pulling back into this region is pretty safe bet here. Or not, or we just rip and leave me in the dust. We'll see, we'll see. I'm putting my stop at the low, which is right at the top of the most recent high. Not a good trading day for me. I think one I'll definitely need to review. Also realized I forgot to record my session to be able to do a review. But yeah, that's a rough start to the week for me. That was a bad performance. I think I just fought the trend too hard. Probably wasn't patient enough. Ended up with an ugly day. We did close above 450. We're kind of retesting it. Now we're falling through it. Yeah, this has been a choppy day. Really, the only solid move is if you caught a bounce off the opening print and rode it up to 450. That was a nice play. About $1 move. Would have been like pretty nice move. Otherwise, some of this stuff in here is just choppy and gross. I missed the good play. I went the opposite. I was taking a short as it looked like we had some weakness up here. But yeah, maybe a little bit too preemptive, a little bit greedy. Maybe I should have took profit at that entry price when it showed we didn't break below it. Either way, took a $35 loss for the day. That's on pretty much like 3 trades. It's gross. I want to review it and just kind of try to learn from it. But rough opening to the week, but there's always another day. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Peace.